Hello, Spokane business community. Mark Pond here with the Spokane Public Library. And today, what we want to focus on with this particular video is a quick look at our subscription to IBISWorld. So to get access to IBISWorld, if you just go to SpokaneBusiness.org, scroll on down the page, and things are listed out alphabetically here. When you get to IBISWorld, just look for information here about how to get access to it. But once you're into IBISWorld, generally what we get here are 30 to 40 page market research reports, and they're national in scope, so we can't really drill down here to our local market, but it's a great place to get a broad overview of what's going on industry-wide and nationwide. So for the sake of this example, I've already run this search for graphic designers, so let's just go ahead and pull that up. So let's say that you're interested in getting into the graphic design world. This can be a great place to start pulling together some bits of information that can help kind of with your business planning process. So these reports with IBISWorld, they're updated generally at least yearly, so it's really current information. And on the very first page here, what we get is kind of the 90,000 foot overview of what affects this particular industry. Who your suppliers are if you're a graphic designer, who those suppliers for the suppliers look like, who's buying your goods or services. So that allows you to click through on any one of these to figure out what's going on in the advertising agency world. You can click on that, get a separate 40-page report there. But the way to navigate through each one of these individual industries are these tabs that run down the left-hand side. So we can go to the industry at a glance. We can figure out that, okay, it's approaching a $13 billion market, some overall structure, how this industry is set up, where it's been, where the IBISWorld analysts see it going. One bit of really helpful information, especially for business planning purposes, is under this segmentation section here on the page. So let's say that you're getting into graphic design and you really don't want to do any advertising or corporate branding, and you don't like the online design and development piece of the industry, that you really want to just focus on print media design. That's what you love. That's what you're really good at. Knowing that print media design only makes up 5% of the revenue for this industry is really good information to have as you're going forward with your plans. So it's definitely not a bad decision to only focus on print media, but you do need to know what percentage of this particular industry is made up by that particular line of business. So really helpful information there. I won't march you through every single tab here, as we could be here all day going through each one of these, but one piece that I think is worth calling out, again on the business planning side of things, if we go to this key statistics option, then this data, it varies somewhat depending on the industry and how long it's been around, but here we've got data going back to 2001 of what's been going on in this particular industry. You also get 5-year projections, which can be really handy. But then also, if it's a large enough industry, down here at the bottom of this section, IBISWorld has the industry financial ratios. So this data, I'll scroll all the way down here. This data, it's coming from the Risk Management Association. So that's a group of commercial lenders, CPAs. They take their clients' data and they anonymize it and turn it over to RMA. So RMA is able to look at the books of 84 graphic design firms around the nation, and then they break them down by these revenue sizes. So if you're just getting started, you're probably going to be in this small category. But here it's really helpful to be able to get a snapshot of what's going on with the finances within this particular industry. So if you're projecting that you're going to be pulling in 6% as a percent of sales for cash after debt amortization, well, you may have figured out kind of the holy grail for this industry and you're just going to kill it. But also, you need to be aware that you'd be over twice the industry averages here. So being able to look at that and say, wow, average for the CATA is 2.8 as opposed to 6%. So just being able to use that as kind of a guidepost to know if your projections are wildly off the mark in terms of industry averages can be really helpful. So each one of these reports, we can download them into various formats. If but we can just grab the entire report, and the PDF and the Word option, it grabs everything that's back behind each one of those tabs and then just dumps it into one report for you. So there's probably 40 some pages of what's going on in the graphic design world. So that's the snapshot there of IBISWorld. Great tool. One last thing to point out, if you were to go to IBISWorld.com just on your own and get to this report without going to the library, I think it's $925 is what they're currently charging retail for each one of these reports. So don't do that. Come through the library, get it for free through the library. All right, hope that gets you pointed in the right direction. If so, great. If not, do be in touch and I'd be happy to lend a hand.